that he feels that we've seen Aurora's ceiling, you know, and getting into playoffs when you put Mongols up there, we know that we haven't seen their ceiling, but Aurora are trending a little older for some of the compared to some of the other top teams, and they didn't get their wins. They're sort of in that same pool of how deep into playoffs can they go. So if they want to show us differently, they'll have to do it here at the major. Oh,
no better place to do it, to be honest. Final event of the year. Well,
welcome 2026.
Xantares holds off on the mid corner. Climb up for Yakindar and Fallen. So Furia taking over that mid control.
Looks like Yakindar's just going to put some pressure on Cat to keep them on A while they go for this mid B hit. He's actually just seeing if they pushed, crouching right under that bullet. Xantares down to 2 health.
Following very quickly. Fallen wanting to seize that one. Remember, Joda's got those dual Berettas over towards tunnels. He's waiting for his chance, and he finds a quick frag on Fallen. Wakadia actually comes through with the double by challenging that CT smoke. So even though the defense in B only gets 1, it's Wakadia who looks to be the star of this first round of action. Gets the bomb dropped outside of the doorway, really takes the wind out of Molodoy's sails, but they fight him, and that was a chance that Wakadia created, and Aurora will seize.
Very hard to find a way to fight early. When we took a snapshot right before that mid-B execute, it looked like there was 3 on A, no one even in CT spawn. So Acadia, I don't even know how he got his first kill, but he either ran into CT early.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
That's what he did.
To shoot through
ran
smoke?
through the CT smoke.
Yeah, but even getting past the smoke when he was sitting on A ramp, you know, when you Kinder check Cat. So very quick moves.
Got that fresh pair of rubber. That's why I think sometimes Aurora can thrive too, is when the players like Wakadia is kind of serving as the glue between Xantares and the rest of the team, Woxic and the rest of the team. Wakadia kind of was that key piece to elevate alongside Joda. The floor of Aurora has risen. And while that M4 leans back, the MP9 wants in on the action. Joda's going to disengage from this one. No need to be the guy that dies in lower. He smokes himself off and falls back through tunnels while we also get this simultaneous mid-peak. Looks like Furia want to go and sniff out some tunnels control first, though.
They need to push, actually. Right now, just this upper B player. I mean, we are talking about Glocks here. But Jota has Sanctuary for a second, but they don't see everything. Tees aren't moving just yet. As he falls back, there's a small window to get back out and around to long or something like that, but past a minute, probably not going to happen. Oh, no, that is not the way to go.
Reopens the flank back. Luckily, the long push from Madger will catch Yakindar at the very least. It's the bomb carrier, and
reload.
Everybody else with it just in a second. Glock's going to catch Joda off guard, but he reacts fast enough, and then Madger comes back at this mid-play. Bomb's going to surpass the MP9 that got picked up, so it looks like Bomb's still planted. Challenge back on Catwalk to give over more space, and Yuri's able to plant just right there on the edge of the open. A jumping MP9 keeps 3 standing for Aurora, but to get away with the plant and that knife in the back money, solid cash for Furia round 2.
Yeah, sketchier than it needed to be. It's 2 kills, knife death, which is $1,500 plus the bomb plant. So a very successful round that they come into with just Glocks. Luckily, there were a significant amount of SMGs bought, so it wasn't too scary.
Clear your corners, kids.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's why you never throw away rounds just because you have Glocks. They ran that 5-up CAD, got mowed down, it would have been pointless. Oh, big play here from Molodoy. Pick down Suicide. Walks it out of the round, and they immediately move into a very strong position early. Again, defaults don't take a long time on Dust 2, but with full mid control, it's going to make Aurora nervous.
Acadia retains some vision to the top of middle towards barrels. Just saw the top of his counter Opper. Trying to find that duel right now versus Molodoy, but you sign up for a fight versus a full-time Opper, and you will feel the wrath of the Kazakhstani kid.
They'd have to make 2 wrong moves to screw this up. Furia are in such a great spot, and they picked the right site.
Teasing this corner in anticipation of the CT challenge. Remember, that's what got the pistol going for Aurora, was a well-timed push out.
Oh.
Just getting a glimpse of Quesarado, but it's a bit too late. Fresh smoke goes down. Yuri keeps the pressure on them. Joda, though, trying to lock it in on his own. Single B defender in that instance means nothing here for Aurora. And so Furia weaponizing Molodoy for the 2 op picks to really give them a nice comfort zone to slice through that bomb site.
I mean, how nice is this round for Furia? Every move is great. I mean, it's so well calculated. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Furia are moving faster with you, Kinder, but in an organized way. And it looks like the perfect tempo for them. They're hitting a real nice stride with their chemistry at the moment. And taking out the op that early. Well, that's supposed to be the round already. But then making it a 3v5. That's all Molodoy.
Quite different seasons these 2 teams have had, with Furia being one of the latest contenders to kind of emerge as potential playoff attendees. Obviously, the full Brazilian lineup, a constant threat for top 8s, but that had fizzled out. You've got Aurora, who started this season as well as possible with the grand finals in Copenhagen, barring just winning the event itself. Kind of petering out ever since. Staying afloat.
It's another major where we rely on the Brazilians to give us more spots at the major.
Yeah, but you gotta be careful because the Asians are stealing them.
Oh yeah, we've got to stop the Asians.
Actually, I'd say let them go. Let them get crazy.
Let the Asians free.
Hashtag let Asians rule.
Let's just go with hashtag
Come on,
Asians
guys,
rule.
let's get it trending.
Asians rock is what we're trying to say.
Ooh,
Nobody
missed
can
chance.
disagree with that.
Woxic with the deep scope down through the tunnels. Could have had first blood here for an Aurora that's banking on lesser weapons. And that scout's just been rattling shots off as well, so it should come to no surprise for Furia. And Aurora are looking for these fights. And if you can close the distance before you offer those fights, then you can sweep away a bomb site. Yukindar taking his time over towards long doors. 2 defenders holding him back, which means Catwalk is open. That Woxic op floats out there. It was originally boosted. Feels like Aurora's kind of hoping that Furia will respect it and not give him another chance, but he's not even taking a look at Cat right now. He is just locked in on that doorway.
It's like he just doesn't want to get tricked, and the early peek comes out. This is interesting, because I don't know if that means Furia are going to go, hey, yeah, they're throwing these smokes on Cat, because, oh, right now, the CTs are vulnerable, and they move out to the wrong direction. Another moment where they can mid B versus 1.
But they did just get a smoke thrown down in front of them over towards that B site. Joda sitting on the other side of this one. They're going to try to challenge it. They're getting through. Yeah, fumbled utility going down here. Madger's able to clear out middle. Joda from Humvee with a single kill. Open lines of sight with a drop from Quesarado. A double kill. Catches that rotate, just fully exposed. And with bomb planted, Woxic has to make a difficult decision to take a chance at this after having missed a couple of critical opening duel possibilities.
This isn't a big streak of rounds for Aurora, man. They're low on money. They really want this round. They also want that op. Maybe Woxic can get both.
He's got to make a decision as to how to come into the site. Oh, gets the duel. Now he's got a better chance. He can come at it up close. From the other side, Yuri teases. And he'll close out for Furia, slicing through middle to B. These mid-round calls from Fallen Strong, putting himself into the cubby to try to slow down those rotates, having Quesarado on Catwalk as an insurance policy to swoop in and attack him from the back.
Well, you know, when you get older, you lose mobility. So he drops the op, gets some of the mobility back. And now look at Furia, looking very fluid here. This is a great round out of Quesarado, and obviously, if not for this play, it's already over. Ends in a one-on-one. But I can't help feel like that's a really important moment here for Furia.
Furia's going to open up with the op. So op's getting opening picks. You've got great mid-rounds here from Furia, taking positioning off of, let's say, Woxic revealing his op over on long corner last round. That's why Quesarado can happily just get around those catwalk corners, position for the eventual move to win the round. Man, I truly say I did not expect Furia to make anything of this season of Counter-Strike. And now between Astana and potentially here Austin, the year is still open. You know, there's a certain finality that feels like we're approaching with Austin, and Vitality's supposed to kind of put the crown jewel in the best season of modern CS we've ever seen. But then there's other camps like Furia that are trying to set themselves up to still rise through the ranks for what's left of 25. And it's the kind of Counter-Strike that you can believe in. You know, it's not some Hail Mary individual moment. It's not 25 kills from Serato. It's solid team play from a roster that on paper just doesn't make sense.
I think maybe composition makes sense, but Kinder's form before this and switching to English, like there are a lot of reasons to doubt this working, but moment of good target selection, but not the shots going in. It'll actually be the pistols coming up huge. And Woxic's upgrade makes this even more expensive. Not too shabby here for Aurora, but playing from slightly behind. Top 8 would be astronomical for Furia again. Just even the fact that it's a debut somewhat. Getting the chance to play in Astana was great for them. I think it certainly imbued them with some confidence, knowing they had the big event coming up right after it. But I really think it's just, I think Molodoy proved himself to get a good chance like this, but who knows how he would play in Tier 1. Nobody really knew. But Yakinder, Yakinder I think was the big risk. And that risk has just paid off straight up. We've seen a couple of moments of struggle, but to be honest, in terms of everything that's new about Furia, you can accredit it to him taking opening duels, him being successful, him moving the pace along. His confidence is back. Tricky for Aurora because all these opening duels are being won by Furia, and they just don't want to give that up again on this next buy, but they've already given out long control. And Cat is very fickle. You can have so many people here, but you can all just get flashed or mollied and have to fall back. It's very hard to hold late. I mean, Yakinder's going to cause such a nightmare for them if he plays his cards right. However, upper B push looks like it's very well timed. Well, Cadia changes the round here if he finds this frag, and he doesn't. Yuri, of course, he turns around.
He finds the duel but doesn't win it. Fallen brings it back with 1 kill towards this A site. Serato looking for a chance to strike. Tries to react to that flash. These two CTs tethered tightly, but Yakindar still finding a way to peel them back, and Yuri picks up a second in the round. That catwalk is open. Santerra's position was well known, and it's now confirmed as they hear him running off to the hills. It is another gentlemanly round of setup in terms of Furia taking over mid, getting themselves closer to that A site, and then both teams kind of signing up for that one critical fight where you have defenders coming out from their spawn, Furia attacking out catwalk. Lots of fights to be had right then, right there. But it looks like Aurora kind of got shook in the process, and when Santerra peels back with that well-timed Yakindar long peek, that's when it all goes up in flames for the defenders.
I mean, Furia have long control from the beginning of the round. It feels like Aurora just kind of closed their eyes and hoped that maybe it was going to be another mid-B, and hoped that nobody had actually taken that long control. But if you've been watching Furia's last games on Dust 2, they have been doing this a lot, so that just seems slightly irresponsible. A lot of this could have been stopped if Woxic had hit his shot, maybe that changes things. But even with that, they still don't have Cat or Long. It's an eventuality that the T's will just creep up on you and put you in very uncomfortable fights. And that's exactly what happened. They're getting a lot of yield out of their upper B pushes, at least.
Cadia going to be beating himself up that he lost that duel because he found the timing to perfection. Just Yuri wins the duel.
I mean, Caserado and Yuri, when it comes to feeling timings, are like, it feels like 2 in a million. There's this old clip of them following a flank that was like 25 seconds long and then turning around on the 24-second on Mirage. And you see it a lot with them. I think that's what made Furia special originally.
Zanteres out here in front of the fire's got another duel coming his way, I think. Caserado keeping his head tucked for the time being. Actually lets that burn out, and that's going to be Zanteres on the retreat.
Feels like the first 5v4 in some time.
But at the same time, there's also maybe too much movement.
Yeah, they dropped, they ran.
Kind of nice here from Furia. They let him go, just take up the positioning instead. A vacuum of control for Furia to just tiptoe their way into that A site.
They're trying to flank tunnels. It's a total B fake here by Yuri.
Damn, Fallen selling great quality bait.
I think one thing was that you pointed out that they dropped and made noise, so there's that, guaranteed info. But Furia, like, they had to come back and clear Zanteres, right? They mollied Cap behind him. They knew Zanteres was going to try to leave. So it just required one more test. But it's 3v5 now.
There's a kid as well, so...
No smoker molly.
Considering they don't come in with very much on this one, you're just waiting for this to go, and maybe Furia don't expect that 4 players are about to push through it. Zanteres catching the headshot to Molodoi, jumping kill from Wicadia. That's a scout for the double.
2 of them.
But he's not the player who had the kit. That was Zanteres over on Catwalk. They needed the cat retake to come through to at least get closer. Still 2 jumping scout kills. Why not?
Right on the apex. Beautiful out of Wicadia. And 5 deaths is worth it for the amount that they invested into this round. Zanteres has a good gun. They put it in front. And Yukinder off the corner of his screen to see Wicadia jumping up like the boogeyman, taking out his teammate.
No opening damage from Molodoi this round. It's been a common trend. That suicide peak's been paying off. Zanteres seeing early presence from Furia down in those lower tunnels. Yukindar's going to slide ahead of the grenades. It's hard to nade Yukindar because he gets in front of him so often. Just that electric tempo he brings to the server. Woxic, he better be careful. He's got Zanteres in front of him, but now he's looking for the trades. And that's going to be 2 players for Furia found on the climb up. Incendiary goes down ahead of them.
Now they can just make the map what they want again, which is the real issue here and has been for Aurora. Is persistent. I mean, this calls for, going back to long, but then they also don't want to get cut off on this mid-B timing. Woxic will look to fight back. But now what do you do, man? Okay, they could smoke it out, but...
Kindar's just this constant thorn in their side. The fact he pushed through the CT smoke grenade, kind of catches the jump up in an awkward position, doesn't really give Aurora that extra bit of space to breathe, to set up a defense despite being man disadvantaged. Now you come back at it.
Rotate.
And you got a player already out. Again, Yukindar ahead of these utilities. The frag, the smoke, the flash, but he'll get clipped by Woxic, and that's going to turn them back. Caserado trying to take the fight out middle. Now it's Furia frantically looking for openings here, and they're banking on Yuri, getting this duel picked up. Joda ends up winning it with 16 health to spare. They're going to leave Molodoi out towards mid. Fallen takes his chance with his newfound fame on a rifle. That's an open chance at the plant.
They got to rush him down.
Yeah, they're going to charge him down. He's in the cover here. Madger looking, gets killed, but so what? It's the round for the side of Aurora. Unless that last death for Woxic came out, and he is no guarantee.
It ends up being Fallen who dies after time.
Sloppy finish, both players losing after the clock goes out.
Not the best conversion, or I mean, they didn't even get the conversion. Not the best attempt after getting the first kill here for Furia. There was a fake rotation in from Major, but he kind of was still vulnerable when he was shooting in through CT. I guess a little lucky that he was low down enough that Yakinder walked sort of wide enough to get ops, but Long was beckoning them the whole time. They had 2 players on A. They kept trying to fight one at a time. There was no 3-player setup after they got those 4 kills, but I think Furia just were really trying to manufacture a way to make the mid be their route to success again. And then they gave the kill back. And, well, it's a decent hold overall here. But it's also just time trouble.
Molodoi back at it.
Everybody is broke. Everybody is broke. But both teams buy into 0. We have 2 Tech 9s for Furia. We have 2 MP9s for the CT side. Oof. When do you ever see a buy like this?
Only in today's economy.
It's like both teams won the pistol round or something.
Here we are, 9 rounds into the half. And with an opening kill to the favor of Yakindar, just holding back on those long doors. He surpasses Molodoi for the most amount of kills on Furia. They're looking at this catwalk as a prime piece of real estate. Woxic's just lingering here, and he gets further damage in. But the problem is he's also the guy allocated over towards Long. Nobody else actually moved over once Major was that first death of the round. Xanteres is looking for somebody to pop up over the ledge as Molodoi takes Woxic off Long. That is 1 less piece for Aurora to somehow get back onto this bomb site. They're using util to announce it. Critical missed shot could reopen the door. Molodoi's looking to make up for it now, but his teammates are dropping. He will get Joda. Tap of the bomb for Wicadia. Yakindar's going to take his time on Cat. Both players spotted. And Wicadia's going to have to go a little wider now, chasing down Yakindar for this kill as he just gets back around the corner, secures it for Furia. Cost effective yet again, and a 6-3 lead to come through, but the price tags remain high.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we'll see what that means though for this half, because now it's just another opportunity for Aurora, who are probably just going to save now. They see 5 deaths. It's a good try here from Woxic. He overstays his welcome when he's fighting, but he has to take some risk. And he got a lot of damage off. Molodoi kind of freaked out on trying to get back to this, even though Yakinder was on cat walking. He could have just let Yakinder take first contact. It would have been okay.
Yeah, I think,
but those two extra
freaking
deaths,
out. That's the perfect verbiage for that. I think a shot like that too, it's almost like the Monacy shot on Inferno, where Beat Anazan gives him that little jiggle and causes the miss shot. Like when you're Molodoi and the crosshair just feels so on, that it just feels like your gun's broken. Oh, I haven't seen this mouse before. Oh. You know what model that is?
New model. It's paper thin.
Okay.
They're going lighter and lighter.
It's the quicker picker-uppers.
It's the Blast Bounty edition.
Oi. Arcadia, risky business here, buddy. Sorry, the hoser slipped out of me there for a second. 5-7 pop on the long door. But it's numbers strong for Furia.
They're playing it raw anti-eco, but they know an op saved.
Oh, Wicadia again. Risky on the wide swing. And so, to no surprise, he gets killed on the fallback. They're not going to cut corners either. They clear out Woxic, who hits a nice P2000 dink.
Xanteres is going to jump here. Let me tell you, that dink was corroborated. Oh.
It spreads over the ledge. That's
tough.
That's against the laws of physics.
I'm not sure.
Bomb has been planted.
I'm not a lawyer, so.
Call me Sue. I want a lawsuit for that, Molly. Just unravels what was looking like, I think you're dead on, the Xanteres jump attempt. Ultimately, it's a nice follow
Because he,
from Furia.
every jump MP9 peak in general, he'd just jump it.
Yeah.
He's jumping around the corners. So it wasn't the full. I thought it was going to be a full investment there for Aurora. They had the op save. They know that 5 died. Kind of feels like they maybe should have tried it, but they get a buy now and they get an op again. So I guess that's actually looking good. Coming into round 11. Great half so far for Furia. Is that Molly not touching Yuri?
Yeah,
Did
what?
he just smoke it? No. He's got the fire blanket
Yeah, he
on?
did smoke it, he did.
Oh, okay.
Safe to say they know he's in there. Ooh, Acadia missing some very important shots here as his teammate gets flustered by the flashbangs. They're going to expose him back here. Nowhere to run, brother.
Great attack, Furia. Unfortunately, a missed shot makes that a lot easier, though.
And so now Bomb's going to cross over. And this is looking like a comfortable 8th round win. Quesarado hears this CT wrapping in his spawn. Who do you think you are?
No knife kill, very gracious.
Quesarado's chill like that.
He is a chill guy.
Woxic's op is no guarantee in the next round, but he's going to rack up the costs ever so slightly. Still weird to see Fallen on a rifle. I don't know how many events it's going to take.
It's clearly the right decision.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, if it means unlocking Molodoy, absolutely. If it means unlocking Fallen again, then absolutely.
I thought Fallen was going to retire every one of these last years.
Yeah, I mean, after Rio, it felt like it was the perfect chance.
Yeah.
They get eliminated there, and
It really felt like a missed opportunity, but I mean, if they're going to make top 8 at this major, then nothing says he made the right decision more than that.
I mean, coming out of the COVID era where Furia kind of took over in the Americas regions at the time, they went 3 consecutive top 8s at the majors in Stockholm, in Antwerp, and then in Rio, where obviously semifinals was where they were cut down. We'll get back to that because right now Woxic's holding off fast tunnels play, and they peel off. Yakinder's going to go for the cat, and the bomb is following him. Oh, they're so worried about it.
Oh!
Okay, so Lorado loses a favorable duel, and then Major, as you'd anticipate with fire down beneath him, gets bested by Yuri, who's taking the late half
Fallen, see this?
to clean up his scoreline. Lean back here from Fallen.
Those MP9s are going crazy. Fallen dies, and now a 3v2 retake. Moldoy low, Yuri low. They have long control, but you know they're scared.
Yeah, final round of the half, though, so let's see it. With so much health and a smoke for the bomb. No kit, though. If the T's can even slow it down, then they could still somehow pull this one out of the hat. Moldoy's going to draw them forward, and Woxic gets the job done. So it is indeed a 4th on this CT side. Furia clean opening in this best of 1, taking it to a team that was proving in Dallas that they're ready to play Dust 2. But it is indeed Aurora trailing. Sprinkling one in before swapping sides. Let's hope that last round can inspire Aurora to surmount a comeback, trailing by 4 rounds after the beginning of Dust 2. Both teams content with winning their opening matches at this stage of the major, but you gotta go one better if you are looking for the 2-0, which is what's on the line and what Furia seem to have at least one hand already grasping.
Love what we're seeing so far from Furia. It just feels like more of the same that we've seen from them so far at this major. It's looking consistent. Yuri's having a great match. I can definitely put it that way. Molodoi as well, continuing on from how well he played earlier. And this game is to get into the 2-0 bucket. And if Aurora are going to do it, it's going to be well-deserved because they've got to come back to make.
Ouch. Nasty grenades not going to make Aurora any more comfortable on this crossover. A little bit of an L drawn by those smokes. Ton of damage done, and yet all the Aurora players still stand. How they have managed to get through that without one body dropping, I do not know. Exposed there. Too many sets of eyes from the Furia squad, yet nobody collects a kill. Fallen and Molodoi both down, and Furia doesn't look like they're even going to take an additional sniff at this.
This is a moment where you should try it, right? It's the health bars, we see it, but like, also it's a damn pistol round, and you could absolutely win a 3-on-5. If Falcons can get eliminated on a 3v5 retake on Inferno with full guns, you could pull this off, Furia.
But Launders, they might lose 2 Kevlars and a smoke.
Oh no. Wouldn't that be tragic? Kills on retakes need to be worth double.
Terrorists win.
Nice beyler, hadi!
Felt like a solid challenge, just came up empty-handed.
Can I pick mid?
We need to incentivize bad decision making by increasing the monetary reward for taking risks.
Yes. Pay for their sins. Heard Molodoi in between rounds there ask, can I peek mid? And with that scout, he will attempt it.
Did he say Papa? Papa, may I peek?
Well, that's why you let him go. Through the door, through the smoke, somehow catches Joda down to 13 points of health.
Makes an instant rotate up to Cat, smokes him off.
Joda's got to make sure he doesn't die because he was the majority of that utility. Starts chucking that out. He also actually hands off the Galil, picking up the scout instead. Oh,
Molodoi.
Maybe next time he doesn't have to ask for permission if he single-handedly peels Aurora
And look how
off
he's
round 14.
Thinking about this too, he gets the scout kill, he goes back to A. Look at Aurora. They're still thinking about going up here. He's actually just influenced every one of their decisions. He slowed them down on Cat to get that opportunity. He got the early op shot through the scout shot through the door to get damage. And now they're running into him again. Molodoi is a puppeteer.
Waiting for the next chance, and it's coming. Quesarado gives him the perfect distraction, and that's not even the player he first tagged. Every bit of damage you see is Molodoi at the moment. Can I peek mid, he asked. You can do what you damn well please.
What a round. He's in the kill feed for all 5 frags. Molodoi tagged everyone that round. He got his first shot through the door. He made them go A. He smoked them off Cat to get this pick in mid. This was a one-man show.
Exactly. That scout buy, well worth it. And Furia upend the momentum of Aurora instantly.
That's an incredible round for Molodoi. Better than some aces.
What a find Furia have on their hands. 20-year-old unproven entity out of Kazakhstan. They bring him to Astana. They put him on a hometown stage instantly. He stepped up to that level of pressure. Delivered some shocking rounds there and doesn't skip a beat here in Austin. now taking over the driving force of Furia here to try to close out a single map against Aurora. And still some respect shown here by Furia to just let Aurora take over the middle of the map. Yekindar are content to sign up for the one-man hold in the face of this smoke. Doesn't look perfect, but it plumes. Utility comes down from that B bomb site, so it feels like Aurora, you gotta realize they know what you're up to. That frag grenade's gonna confirm it. Great spray from K Serrato, blinded, and Yekindar right there with him. Perfectly timed pinch into middle. Furia just skating by Aurora now at this point.
Yekindar said, just say when. I'm coming through that smoke. Perfect setup outside the doors. I mean, they didn't want to run back up Cat and have the last round happen, so they found a new way to die. 2 kills. Ball blind here. Kill feed full of his name.
Absolute freebie of a round to follow suit now in the 16th. Pistols out there for Aurora. It's crazy when we think that, you know, of all the great teachers of Counter-Strike, you can't not put Fallen at the top of that list. Absolutely has earned his place up there over the years, but you just don't think of any, you know, him shaping talent outside of Brazil. And every once in a while he'll put his hands on one, but I didn't expect this.
Yeah, he didn't get the chance to play with Junior.
Well, that's fair. Maybe that would have helped the project. And what's cool too is not only is he shaping the inexperienced Molodoy, but he's also reshaping Yekindar and setting him up for, I would say, just as unexpected of a recovery, professionally speaking.
You know, it's hard to say exactly what we can give him credit for, because if we look at Yekindar, he's playing like himself again. And so, I mean, just knowing how to foster that, it's great. Making him feel confident. It could be the whole team could be Fallen. Either way, it's working. I think time will sort of illuminate exactly what has actually helped make this so successful so quickly. But we also saw when Ultimate came into Tier 1, he played with a certain confidence and was extremely good, right? Their debut, they beat Na'Vi, and they beat, I think, Vitality, I think, in their first week on Liquid, and then it went downhill. Not to say that it will. We've already passed Astana, now we're at the Major, and here's Molodoy getting better and better.
Yeah. I think that's the glaring difference. Ultimate did it in a studio in Copenhagen over the course of a week or so. Which, again, great outing. But you're right, tapered off. We'll see if Furia are able to prop up this early success and hang on to it. I think the fact that he's doing it on the big stage in Astana and potentially here in Austin as well, if they can keep up this level of CS. Furia have not had such a successful start to a top 16 stage at a major since the Rio Major, where we know this organization went on to semifinals.
They 3-0'd Legends, right?
Yep. Have never done it since. Had never done it before that moment either.
He tucked by himself.
Molodoy,
And he will get 2 shots.
Just letting him come to him, but he will get traded out by Woxic, who now joins up with that cat split. Molodoy gave them the opening to the A site. And so Furia are going to have to fight further on, but this is number 6 for Aurora, at least being able to get past this plucky 20-year-old Opper.
That's something, but it's not even a round by elimination here, so I don't know if Aurora can afford to hunt, but they would love to get these kills off the board so they can take a second, maybe get an antique out of it. But I mean, look how much money there is here for Furia. There's gonna be another full buy coming in. So for now, it's a drop in the bucket. I think this major's had a lot of surprises, not necessarily because good teams are playing badly, but because the lower seeded teams are playing so well. I don't know if anybody's out here saying, oh, Legacy are barely winning or they're getting lucky in their games. They're playing, I mean, when they beat Wildcard last stage, after Wildcard were up 2-0, Wildcard were favored in that matchup. They played amazing. Legacy played incredible. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with their confidence and their chemistry and their teamwork. They're just hitting a flow right now at the perfect time. But these rosters, I think Lin Vision might be a situation where they weren't as good as they are. They're getting better, but they were still winning when they were having problems. They managed to take out Falcons on not the best nuke map ever, but it's just better than Falcons. But now they qualified to this stage. They've totally handled Liquid.
I like the credit you're giving some of the underdogs. I do think Falcons played bad, though. That one's on them.
No. Yeah. Those teams are bad for sure. Yeah, no, I don't mean to say that Falcons wasn't bad. They were bad.
Did you watch the
But
fight
you know what? That might not... What? Yeah.
5v3 with comms?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Fell apart. But this cow push from Xanteres. Oh! Gets clipped out by Quesarado, who's hanging onto the ramp. He's got the smoke ahead of him. He's got a flash in the middle of it all, and he's hoping that Molodoy can bail him out because he goes down with nothing further. Climb up with 2 players here in the open. Such a tough spot for an Opper. But they get exposed, and that's not what he was looking for. But that was a CT frag grenade from Yuri. Yuri just kind of exposing his own op.
Oh, he wishes he had another, like an extra second to shoot while he was scoped and wasn't on cycle. Okay, quick round. Burst up the A site, and one and done here for Aurora. Back-to-back rounds after the opening kill from Molodoy again. Now last round to get the first kill, not the opening. First kill for Furia, that is. That's looking better.
I still feel bad for Molodoy. Poor kid just got left out.
I was happy about that smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, once he misses his chance to kill them before they climb into it, he gets in behind Gandalf. He's got cover, smoke fades. They're stuck on site. Instead, just exposed on that ledge.
Right idea, wrong time.
But a quick apology and you can move along. And you'll forget about it, assuming you close out this best of one. The money's still flowing, so much so that we get a Yakindar op. Now, seeing as how close he sits to the screen.
Yeah, continue.
I don't really know what this means.
Yeah, he's already scoped in, is what you're saying.
Yes, at all times, like 15x zoom, but he'll let Wakadia get away from him. Now they're going to get pinched between 2 oppers. Yakindar coming back.
But now they don't actually know that was Yakinder, so they might just get opt.
Oh, Molodoy slides out, peels Xanteres off the boost. Now Woxic's going to be looking for a counter pick, but there's a secondary op already positioned on site in Yakindar. So down goes one.
Nice.
Woxic able to reopen the possibility of this A site, but unlike previous rounds, Aurora all coming in from one direction, so it's actually a chance for Furia to set up on site to try and contend with this. Still, bit of ramp control for Wakadia. Molotov thrown over to Catwalk, flushes them down. Desperate CT trying to run up from spawn as Quesarado just crouches back in cover. Molodoy goes over top of that site, and Furia on the brink of a 12.
Such a good job on the protocols, and they don't see Major leaving, but he will get away safely. Doesn't matter to Furia. They spent down to 0 in this round to get a second up on Yakinder, and while it only kind of made noise, they didn't go back to mid to fight him. They ended up funneling towards long. And the site smoke was the really key part, because I think Woxic was about to make a play. He got his first kill, but then his vision was totally removed, and Quesarado got his 2 kills. That was a CT smoke on the back of single.
Nice, Dani, красава.
Molodoy's probably got a perfect KAST in this game. And that, again, that smoke and the way they played the site made it impossible for Woxic to help out from so far back.
.125 ADR for Molodoy at the moment. 22 and 11 after that last round. There's been a bit of back and forth in the top performing player for Furia, but Molodoy in this final stretch of play Making sure it's his name up in lights.
I mean, with that scout round and this map that he's had, it's just been the most impact that we've seen, and that's saying something because he's been very consistent.
5 rounds to close out. Loxic versus Molodoy set up for the mid play as Yakindar tries to take a bit of a cheeky opening off of Catwalk. Now they'll hold back the Cat extension instead.
Oh, man. You can just
Nice
stood there for so long. Even though mid door was smoked, Maldo has to watch his cat cross for him to stay there. But he took the risk, and he was right about it. Found the exact moment to get that nade off. The long push is also perfect.
Yep. Fallen starting to feel like he could end this game.
I think they know exactly what's happening now with the setup. Molly's on cat.
They know what's happening, but have they defended right for it? Molodoy peels away for Carr, and
I think so. Because Yakinder can rotate back A, no problem. If this goes B, they have a flank from Fallen on long. They have Yakinder right in the same place that he was so successful last time, ready for his teammates to flash through.
mid flash is so perfectly timed that Yakindar comes out, gets an easy 2K. Madger is sent scrambling up for that B site now, and Queserado's waiting for a chance to slide out window. Fallen gets his, and the B site holds as well, so everything goes swimmingly here for Furia to close out. A final effort from Xantares as he gets pelted by utility. The nades were on point. Furia on point on the first day of Stage 3, looking for a 3-0 at the top 16 phase for the first time since that miracle in Rio.
Fucking go.